Mud water is a coffee alternative with 4 adaptogenic mushrooms and Ayurvedic herbs. With 1/7 the caffeine as a cup of coffee, you get the energy without anxiety, jitters, or crash of coffee. It can help with soreness. It helps with your immune system. It gives support for physical performance. Mud is Whole30 approved, 100% USDA organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher certified. Mud water allows you to build a morning ritual that promotes sustained energy without the crash. Go to mudwater.com/VIALL to support the show and use code VIALL for 15% off. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files Going Deeper edition. I'm your host, Nick, joined by Allie and Amanda. How are you doing, ladies?
Fabulous.
Bopping, jiving, living it up.
We have an update from
yes,
our texting office hours last week. Our dear Hannah. Unfortunately, it did not go the way we hoped.
And we don't have details.
We don't have more details other than she told us that it didn't go the way she had hoped. But
she
no
shot
regret.
her shot.
No regret. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, now she knows.
Shoot
and we
her
have
shit.
all the confidence in the world that she is going to seize the moment and be a shining star around this person who rejected her.
Yes.
And not act rejected.
Plus, sometimes especially with like a friendship budding romance, sometimes you got to plant those seeds and know they're not going to grow flowers for 6 months.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that third option, it was either she's going to say yes, she was going to say no. And even if she says no, like because of the friend group, there's a sense of protectiveness over the group. So that time when you reject someone is such a pivotal moment of showing them a different side of who you are, an attractive side or an unattractive side. How people handle disappointment, I think, is
because it's so easy to
pivotal.
go in the wrong direction for like whenever I feel like rejected or like even if it's something little, like I asked my boyfriend to hang out and he's not free. It's so tempting to like my reactions to be like kind of aloof or kind of like, okay, like, you know, like to be like, you're making me feel not as in control. So I'm going to be like ever so slightly withholding is like the instinct. And it's a terrible instinct because it's so much more powerful when you're warm and welcoming to people and not being standoffish and weird around them.
Oh yeah, you're like, okay. And then your partner's be like, what, you don't miss me? Your partner wants you to miss them or whatever. We manipulate the fuck out of each other all the time.
We do.
You know,
We manipulate the fuck.
I was thinking about this over the weekend. I mean, the thing is, we do. Think about it. All the little things we say in relationships.
I've just never heard.
I should have written it
manipulate the
down because if someone said, I don't know if it was Natalie or someone else, like we had some people over and someone said something and it was just like, I know this is like this is kind of manipulative, but it's not really manipulative. It's just.
Yeah, it's like where does strategy
It's gamesmanship.
start?
Yeah, it's a little bit of gamesmanship and how we say and do things in relationships.
Totally.
And I feel like I should start writing these down. If you notice, either you or Nick, or if we should just write these down and play a game of, is this manipulative or is this gamemanship?
Manipulation or gamesmanship?
Because there's such a fine line in relationships.
I'm going to be keeping track of a lot of stuff because my latest relationship endeavor is I live in Thai Town. Shout out to Thai Town in Los Angeles. Wonderful neighborhood, a hidden gem, I would say.
I don't even know where it is.
It's like I said this in a DM to a new friend and I was like, and then instantly he was like, why would I say this? I was like, Thai Town is like touching tips with Los Feliz. And I was like, so unnecessary, like such unnecessary wording. But that's true. It's like, it's Hollywood. Los Feliz has a beautiful spot in the middle and there's naturally a million Thai restaurants.
Just an abundance of Thai restaurants.
So many Thai restaurants, like more Thai restaurants than I've ever seen in my life. And my boyfriend and I have decided we are going to go to every single one. We are going to make a binder, which the binder really excited me about this. I was like, ooh, a craft project. And like, keep the menu. We're going to write down, we're going to do 2 dishes. We're going to have 2 consistent dishes. That way we can like see how they stack
eliminate
up.
the variables.
And then 1 wild card dish of like the restaurant specialty. And then we were joking that in addition to writing down about like how the food is, like just turn it into like a really passive aggressive, like also commenting on the relationship. I feel like Amanda didn't do as much listening as she said she would.
Have you started this?
I'm leaving for Chicago on Wednesday, so we're trying to do our first one before I go.
Have you seen Gilmore Girls?
No.
How do you have a goal on how many? We'll get to Gilmore Girls in a second. I don't.
No.
How many? Where's Gilmore Girls with this?
Because on the first night when Rory goes to Yale, her mom spends the night there and she makes friends with all the girls in their dorm, and she orders from every restaurant around Yale, and they keep track. They have a system of like how hot the delivery guy is, the distance, the quality of the food, and they like rank everything.
So she's ripping off Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, so I guess there's not an original thing.
How many restaurants?
I'm thinking like it's got to be at least 30. Maybe that's too high.
I don't think you'll make it to 8.
You don't think their relationship is going to last 2 months?
It has nothing to do with the relationship.
Oh my God, Allie.
That's where I thought
Allie,
he was going.
you don't think our relationship?
I never said that.
This is also to motivate you too.
No, I'm just like having that moment
you.
of being like, oh yeah, if there's a breakup, it's going to be like the fucking Thai food binder.
Who gets the binder?
Joint custody.
He gets the binder on weekends.
Visitation rights. No, thank you for saying that. We're not going to make it to 8 because now I will certainly make it to more than 8. Nothing incentivizes Bostonian like vengeance or doubt. So to either of you, like, I guess maybe in the relationship context or in like a friendship context, Allie, listen, I wanted to include you. I wanted to include you. And I didn't want to I didn't want to be pointed, but I also wanted to make sure you felt included.
So I pointed my finger and I said, friend.
Do you have any like thing that you're kind of like fixated on, like a category of things where you're like, oh, I want to try a bunch of different ones? Because I feel like, but do you know what like restaurants or something?
Are you okay?
I'm so
it's always
funny.
around this alley, just kind of like completely just.
I thought it was a funny joke.
Falls apart. You were saying.
I was like, do you and Natalie have something where it's like you make a thing of like going to a bunch of different like diners or like wherever else?
No, we could work on that because we both like the same things and we're both creatures of habit, which
Jones
is really,
on third.
really convenient and nice because dinner's not a negotiation for us.
Yeah.
I mean, the only negotiating we have is like, should we really have tacos for the third night this week?
And then it's like, yes.
It's like, I guess, like we kind of shame ourselves, but we could stand to be a little bit more adventurous, both of us. But neither of us like doing that. Although Natalie got us to try a new breakfast spot yesterday.
Ooh, was it good?
It was not as good as what we like to go.
See, that's the hard part of trying something new.
Because it's always like...
You could always be disappointed.
I also think that's...
And it was totally good, but it was not as good.
I also think that's a distinctly New York thing, is like if you've lived in New York City, you know the importance of like a good diner for brunch.
Yeah, because
like,
there's so many options.
I feel really strongly about that. And I was very excited because like my boyfriend knows this one place that we have to go sometime, Allie, for like a brunch like dish because it's like booths, hash browns.
I heard you can booths instead of booths, but that's okay.
It's like I'm sure BYOB. Any place is BYOB if you're determined enough.
Amen. I was talking about that to someone the other day. Pants, great place to put stuff.
What?
Have you ever been like lectured for bringing your own alcohol?
I don't get caught. I once at a music festival in Australia. And the Australians are strict. Like, they get a reputation for being chillers, but, like, they are, when it comes to alcohol laws, incredibly, security has it on lock. I walked into a music festival with a bottle of vodka between my sweaty thighs.
Yeah.
And I was so worried it was going to drop out.
And then you kind of waddle.
Did you have pants or like a skirt?
It was a skirt.
That's impressive.
How?
Muscle. Clench that.
Force of will.
Yeah, you needed to make it through.
Didn't she like walk like you had to go to the bathroom really bad?
Yeah, but who's gonna tell you?
It was kind of a big bottle, so it like.
I'd be like, that girl looks like she's walking with a bottle between her legs.
Does that pop up on like a metal detector?
Maybe they saw it and were just like,
Just
we're
like,
not
whatever.
engaged.
You're just like, whatever.
She clearly
Good
is.
for her.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a fantastic episode for you. Sistine and Sophia Stallone are with us today. A delightful
Honestly,
sisterhood.
didn't know who their dad was, but I loved them.
You don't know who Sylvester Stallone
Did
is?
not, but they were lovely ladies.
How do you not know who Sylvester Stallone is?
I did a lot of flashcards as a kid.
Oh, he's a legend. Anyways, they're great. We have a fun chat. Aging.
We talk about aging.
Poop.
Parenting,
Yeah, like celebrity parenting, bullying.
Bullying.
bullying, parenting.
Anyways,
the
it's great.
best.
Why don't you just listen to it? You're here already. I mean, at this
if you
point.
stuck it out
incredibly
this far,
cool.
I wonder if people just be like, you know what? I wasn't sold.
yeah,
Turning
they're
it
like,
off.
try again next
Anyways,
time.
here they are. Brooklinen Father's Day is here, and give your dad the gift of comfort with Brooklinen. They have truly the best products. The bedding, towels, robes, hand towels. They have candles. They have loungewear. Everything they make is amazing. I love it. It's soft. It's amazing. It's affordable. I want everything Brooklinen has and more. I've been a customer of theirs for years. I stand by it. I brag about it. I tell all my friends. Tell your friends. Everyone loves it. I don't know what more I can say. Like, they just do such amazing things. They're always improving.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. You have notably nice hand towels in your guest bathroom.
Thank you.
Like, I noticed when I was drying my hands, I was like, these are plush.
Brooklyn.
Also, the waffly design one
Yeah,
is
doesn't-
very
yeah.
absorptive. Like, I used a hand towel size for my whole head of hair, and it was dry.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even use the shower one.
Brooklinen, home of the internet's favorite sheets, was created in 2014 to give customers luxury hotel-level home essentials that don't break the bank. They offer everything from snuggly sheets to cozy towels, robes, loungewear, accessories, and so much more. By working directly with suppliers, Brooklinen cuts out the luxury markups and passes the savings on to you, the customer. So get yourself Brooklinen and enjoy what I call the eighth wonder of the world. Also, there's like 100,000 five-star reviews, so you don't have to take my word for it. With Father's Day coming up, get your father's Brooklinen. Give the men in your life the comfort refresher they deserve and get it for less at Brooklinen. Go to brooklinen.com and use promo code VIALL to get $20 off your first purchase of $100 or more, plus free shipping. That's BROOKLINEN.com and enter promo code VIALL for $20 off, plus free shipping. Brooklinen, the curators of comfort. Sistine, Sophia,
Hi.
welcome.
Thank you.
You guys were saying, you triggering moment.
Triggering moment. We were just talking about names and that
Yeah.
no one can ever pronounce my name.
She was always really upset on these rides when they would say, like, what's your name so we can have, like, the machine say it. She'd say Sistine and they'd say 16 or Christine.
Or
and
no,
so-
you know what hurt my feelings more is that they never had a keychain with my name on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was really
Wow,
annoying
let's
for
just
her.
play the world's smallest violin
Yeah,
for me.
I'm
so
gonna say
sad.
for you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. So much to talk about today.
Ooh.
I just want to know, when did you guys realize your dad was Rocky? Like, when, you know what I'm
here's
saying?
what's
Like,
so funny is that we got shit for this because we said this before.
Oh,
but
we
didn't realize how this obviously we realize who he is. We're not completely ignorant from it, but
no, but as kids, that's
But as
that's
kids-
the question.
No,
It's
but
like,
this
you're just
isn't-
dad.
We didn't realize how cool he was until he won the Golden Globe like a couple
And
years
everyone's like,
ago.
oh, wow. 'Cause we
Wait,
said this.
A couple of years ago?
No, listen. So we went on the Friday Beers podcast and they asked a very similar question. We said we didn't realize how legit he was until he won a Golden Globe for his role in Creed. And they were like, that is so fucked up. Wait, can I curse? Sorry.
you
They
can
were
say
like,
that.
that is so messed up because he had such a crazy career before that. But growing up as kids, we only saw him as dad with just a paparazzi following us all the time. So we never knew like any
You didn't know
picture
what
from
that
school.
was.
Yeah, and like you
Yeah.
could look at red carpet photos. We were like little Ikes on a carpet. We didn't know. We thought it was normal. But a funny thing is, I think we realized he was famous because he sort of put it in our face all the time.
Yeah.
Like every
A little
time one of his movies was playing on TV, he would make us sit down and watch
Would
it.
he?
Still
We've
today.
seen Rocky
Still
12
today.
I love
times,
that.
Cliffhanger 11 times,
Expendables,
all
and then he'll
the
tell
time.
us like the lines of it. We can recite lines from Rocky. He'll say behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and we're like, we know what happened
we
behind the scenes. Like,
learned how to read by reading his scripts. Like he would make
Yeah.
us sit on his office
Really?
floor and
I love
read
that.
scripts.
Yeah.
One of my, there's a photograph of me. I was like 4 years old,
Mhm.
and I have my feet in the couch, and I'm going like this, and I'm doing sit-ups because I had just saw Rocky 4 in the theaters, and it was one of the first movies I ever saw in the theaters.
So you definitely knew who he was before we did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, was Rocky for the one with
Ivan Drago.
Yes.
Drago.
Okay. So they
Yes.
didn't they? I think they just remade it or remastered it or did something like that.
Oh yeah, they
recently.
remastered
They
Rocky.
have?
4.
And I actually because
Yeah.
I remember watching that the first
It's one of my
time-
favorite movies.
Yeah, years ago.
Oh, you gotta watch the
no,
new
this
cut.
new one is awesome, and
Yeah.
I actually
Is it
forgot
out?
how
Is it
cool.
a-
Yeah, I forgot how cool the working out sequences or what's it called
Training
before
s-
the
the-
training.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
training
training
scene-
montage before.
And there's a lot of cuts that didn't make the first film that are in
When
this
I
one.
was The Bachelor, we filmed. You should have your dad watch it.
The
Oh,
Bachelor.
he loves The Bachelor.
He loves
Oh.
The Bachelor.
Are you kidding? He has characters that he loves. That
Wait,
are his
well, hold on.
favorite.
Loves.
On my season of The Bachelor, we
Yeah.
filmed the finale in Finland, and one of my producers, also a big Rocky fan,
Yeah.
and we're in Finland, and so we're just like fucking around. So we have to do B-roll, like
Yeah.
as part of The Bachelor,
Right.
like shots.
Yeah.
And so we recreated the whole Rocky 4 training sequence, and so I was
Why
doing.
don't I
And
remember this?
they aired it. It's at the end of one of the
Oh.
episodes. It must be like
Okay.
it's either the fantasy. I think it's the Fantasy Suite episode.
Oh, we're
And
watching.
and
We
it's
gotta
the
show
end.
him that. That
It's
is
the
so
end. It's on
funny.
HBO Max. I think you can watch it.
Okay, well, for sure watch
We
it.
have the account. We're good.
And I think it's probably the Fantasy Suite, and it's me doing
That's
the
epic.
He needs
like
to see
the
this.
I'm like doing have a log over my back,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like. It's all we did. All
What a great
and it's
B-roll
in this
sequence.
in the snow. So it would mean a lot to me just to know that your dad watched
But
it.
I
We'll
guarantee he's already seen it because
Some way.
he's a Bachelor
Well,
fan.
he loves Bachelor in Paradise.
He does. Would he
You
ever
know-
want to recap an episode?
Oh,
Recap an episode.
God. I don't think he would understand how to recap.
I
an
think
episode.
All he has to do is give an opinion, and I feel like your dad.
He has a lot of opinions because
Yeah.
this is the thing. We would put it on. He'd
But-
be like, I don't want to watch it. And
Yeah,
then he'd
and then
sit
he
on the
does-
couch and then all of a sudden he has his favorite people. But it's always the people that cause the most
Like
drama.
he loved what's his name? He was crazy.
on
Chad.
it.
Chad. He
Loved
loved Chad.
Because
Oh my
Because,
god!
like, the window.
My dad still does that today.
I-
He'll look at us.
no, when Chad was on JoJo's season, like I found him entertaining.
Yeah.
Like he
it-
was funny.
exactly,
Like
yeah.
when I got to know him, like yeah, he's a bit of a troubled man, but
No, he loved the whole thing that he did just to cause the drama. Obviously, maybe him as a
Yeah.
person's a bit different of a situation, but
when he was like, "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed," it was one of the best lines
Yeah.
in Bachelor.
exactly,
history.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Um,
he'd always bring him up.
So Dad's a Bachelor fan.
Yeah,
He loves reality TV, which
Loves
people
it.
wouldn't assume. Dancing with the Stars. He loves American Idol. He loves all of
America's
that.
Got Talent.
Yeah.
All
Loves
of that
it.
stuff.
Do you have a favorite reality show?
Oh,
All of
God.
them?
That's like choosing my favorite child. I love just Housewives. I'm just a huge Housewife fan.
I like those stupid dating 90 Day Fiance, Married at First
First
Sight.
Sight, yeah.
I mean, that like the fact that people actually do it, I think is hysterical and awesome at the same time.
My favorite one I'm watching right now is Are You the One? I think those old seasons, I don't know if you guys
Are
have
you
seen
the
it.
one?
Oh,
The like
It is-
season 1 from MTV.
Oh, Are You the One? Is
gold.
Yeah.
crazy.
I've
Yeah.
never
They
seen
go in that booth and it's like
Yeah, the truth booth.
So
And
insane.
they don't have any care because no one understands what reality TV is or does, or they don't even realize like this is gonna haunt them forever, maybe, or whatever it stays on, or whatever they do. And it's just so funny. They have
Yeah.
like their inhibitions down and they go wild. I love those old seasons.
I remember Eliminate. Remember Eliminate?
Which one?
Wait, which one was it?
This is way before your time.
You know, I was a big fan of Next on MTV. Next. That was,
What was
so
Next?
good. You don't know
it's
Next?
So
These guys would come out and be like, hey, my name is Brad. I'm 23. I love boobs and Mountain Dew. And like he would come out and the girl would either look at him and be like, next, and kick him out. Or if they make it through the entire date, every date's like $5 he can win. And then
It's-
he either
it would be
chooses like the
canceled now.
$15 or the date. And he's like, I'm taking the cat. Like it's so
no, but you can
bad.
literally look at someone and be like, no, she's ugly. Like it's
And
so
you can do
bad.
it like
Next.
in the middle of the date too,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
at any point in time, you can just be like, next.
She's
oh,
like,
it's so sad. He'll be like, she'll go, I love country music. And he goes, not for me.
next.
Next.
It's just so funny.
God.
Crazy. Yeah.
No wonder like dating is such a struggle for people now. Just like the content we've watched for so many
Yes.
years
Yeah.
is definitely not
Yeah,
like teaching us like proper.
Nope.
Oh, not at all.
like wife swap.
Oh,
Can we talk about wife swap?
How is that even allowed?
Celebrity wife
They should have
swap is
gotten a
awesome.
cease and desist immediately.
Yeah.
Instantly.
That was pretty good. I thought that was a great show.
I love that show.
Genius.
Oh wait, what's that new show that just came out that's kind of almost similar? Everyone just traded wives.
Oh, The
and
Ultimatum.
I mean,
Ultimatum.
are you kidding? Like,
But
how
the-
can you watch your
You
fiancé?
can't get away
hooking up
with shows
someone?
like Wife Swap and Next anymore, and that's what kind of makes it so fun. Even like Jersey Shore, like
Oh,
you just
I
you
love
don't
Jersey.
see it like that.
Wait, how many
anymore.
times have we watched that from one to the end?
4.
Yeah, all the way
You
through.
rewatch them
Oh yeah.
I'm a big rewatcher.
Oh yeah. We
of
can-
reality TV.
Oh yeah. Huge. We love it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we
I feel
do
like you guys
other
should
shows.
come up with like your own concept.
I know.
Well, funny
Well.
you say that.
Are we pitching?
Hello, Sharks.
Oh, I also love that one too.
I love Shark Tank. We have something in this realm with our family in the works currently.
Okay. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know. You have like the access if you have a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been something that we have been approached with for a really long time because people were always saying that you guys have good TV presence and you guys are open-minded to doing it. And I don't think it was the right time at that point, but now we're all kind of older and we're doing our own podcast and we're on TV a little bit
Yeah.
more. And I don't
funny
know.
enough, like
It's-
Sly, you'd think would never want to be a part of something unscripted, and there's sort of a stigma that is tied to being a reality TV star. But he's so excited
I feel
about
like it's
it.
gone away. I just presented at the MTV Unscripted Awards, and they asked questions about like reality TV.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I think I said something like, being a reality TV star used to be like, you're like the ugly cousin of a celebrity.
Right.
But not so much
Right.
anymore.
No.
Like I mean, truthfully, more and more people they enjoy
Unscripted.
unscripted
I agree.
100%
more than
more.
scripted, and at some point they're becoming
I know.
the bigger celebrity, even though they're
I
not the
agree.
most like
No.
revered.
Yes,
I
was-
totally
yes,
understand what you're trying to
yes.
say there. I don't know. There's something about people being themselves that everyone just loves. I think I think everyone likes knowing that no one's perfect. Like even the people you see on TV, like sometimes these actors, it's hard to kind of relate to them if they're not open about talking about their personal lives. But I love seeing messiness or just chaos or even just relationship drama. I mean, hopefully we'll see if we do that, but I don't know.
Well, speaking of reality TV stars and messiness, Kim Kardashian recently said that she would consider eating poop
Oh yeah.
I saw this.
if it made her look younger. And we were discussing earlier, I'm like, what would be the parameters in which you would eat poop to look younger?
What's like the extent
well,
of what it has?
I don't think it's that
Amanda
far
came
off.
up with if 1/5.
If you aged at like 1/5 of the rate, usually.
Oh,
So you're
I
still
see what you're
aging, but
saying.
it's like going
would-
extremely
So instead of like
slow.
Chuck Everlasting
half.
drinking the water
Cut it in
with
half.
poop to like
my
slow down aging.
my
Okay.
question is, do I get to choose how I consume the poop? If I had it in tablet form, yeah. If I'm eating it raw, probably not. No.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I mean, it's not that far off. People are getting like bird poop facials.
Wait,
Are
you-
they
Really?
younger? Yeah.
I would be down.
I
don't
would
know.
be down.
Deep poop.
Like I'm like,
raw.
we take shots of tequila. That's not pleasant, but like, you keep it down.
If you
Eat a
so
Cheeto.
when you
you'll
say
be fine.
1/5,
Potato
you're
salad,
like
yeah.
you look 5 times younger, or what?
I'm saying you would age at 1/5
Fifth.
of the rate.
I
Five
kind of
times
want to
slower.
age though.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I would do it for like only aging half. Not even. If it was even if it was like people with fractions are all confused right now listening to this.
I
I know we're
podcast,
just like
but
math.
math. It wouldn't take much, I guess is what I'm saying.
Do you think
Like
that-
20%, 30%.
I'd only eat it if I would get like a really cool superpower.
Okay.
That's
The
it.
superpower
Those aren't
is
the
not
rules.
aging.
That's true. You're Benjamin Button.
That's cosmetic.
If I have a couple wrinkles, I'll just get some Botox. Okay, when I hit that point.
Do you
But
think?
I
Do you
don't know, I
think
need,
she
like, something
made
cooler
that
than-
comment though, on purpose? Because she got a lot of heat for her comment that she made at the Met Gala, losing all that weight, and now she says this poop comment about looking younger. I mean, I think everything they do is like genius strategic, and it's causing people to talk about
Well,
it.
because they have Kris Jenner at the helm.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah.
strategic, and
Oh, yeah.
it's not surprising that this comment is coming along with her launching her new skincare line.
Is there poop in it?
No, but people were questioning that. But
Oh yeah, watch Kendall
Just
Jenner
listen
come
to-
out with some like
'cause I would
tequila
do it.
infused
Yeah.
cucumber
Yeah.
drink because
Exactly.
everyone made fun of her.
Now,
for
what if?
cucumber.
What if? Does it matter if you also felt younger or only look younger?
Oh, see, I got bad knees already.
So, like,
that makes a difference.
You know, you
And you
looked
look
you
young.
looked 20, but you still like, you know, couldn't get out of
Ooh.
bed.
The hangovers are
Yeah,
still.
you're still like you have one shot of tequila and you're done.
So that's the thing is like if I knew I'd look younger, but I'd still have all the aging problems like knees and back. I don't know if I would do it. That's just lame.
What do you think
You
your
know-
dad would say? I should stop asking
Ooh.
questions.
No,
No, it's
I
okay.
think we love talking about Sly. I think if I put it in like a smoothie that I make for him, I think he'd be down.
Yeah,
Why
probably.
not? Why not?
I mean, I feel like he's probably done it. He looks a lot younger than he actually is.
Yeah, maybe he already
so-
found it.
Yeah, maybe he's already done it. Found it.
I think I would do it.
Dude, look at you. You're like mischievous.
Fork and knife. I'm
He's
just being
like, I think
I'm just being
Very
honest.
conspiratorial.
I'm
I
just
know.
being honest. If the again, assuming it wouldn't get you sick, it would actually like it would. You just have to deal with the taste of.
And the knowledge that you're
that you just ate
that
food.
you
Oh, question. Would it have to be yours or could it be someone else's?
You read my mind.
Or could
yeah,
it be
that
like-
was my next
See,
question.
that's the question.
What if it's like a bunny or something? You know, those
I
are
mean,
like
no,
small
No,
little
human.
pellets.
It's gotta be
I have to
human.
human.
I would
It
so
has to
much
be
rather
human.
it be my own
Yeah, I'd have to do my own.
because I don't know what's in someone else's.
Ew,
Eating
God.
Taco Bell.
So would you
Yeah.
still do
You
it if
never
you knew it was
know.
someone else's?
If I had to eat someone else's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I
Yeah.
just pick? Could I be like, I want my sisters? Or I
No.
just have to.
Like I just
I would
probably just
never
still
have
do
my
it.
sisters.
I probably just like try and get drunk and
oh God.
do it.
throw it back.
I did that the other night. I had to do a blood test, so I just drank a bunch of wine, and then I was like, "Time to prick my finger." Like,
Are you bad with
I mean, like you
needles?
could plug your
so am I.
nose. You know.
Yeah. I feel like people eat worse.
Have a
honestly.
Gatorade.
People are gross.
Yeah.
I
mean,
mean, I've
really-
eaten some things that taste like shit.
We eat
Right,
placenta.
You know,
okay.
people-
Like
Like what? Wait, well, like what?
I'm exaggerating.
Okay. If you could
Um,
pick the age though that you stay forever, what would it be, looks wise?
looks and brain.
Sure.
Like, well, looks, brain, and like physical, like feeling,
Mm-hmm.
because that matters too.
I'm gonna
Like,
say
so.
peaking at 28. So I'm gonna call it 28.
I'm gonna say like 33, 34.
I would say 30. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say 30, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
like do like a really good like workout and cleanse program before I like freeze it,
Yeah.
and then I'll be like,
Ooh,
I'm ready.
so smart. Whose
do
poop
Kim's
am I
like
eating?
Met Gala prep and be like, I'm good.
Only tomatoes. Here
Yeah.
we go.
Can you imagine if vampires existed and you became a vampire at like 64?
Oh, that's
How annoying.
Honestly, you know what? I thought about that because someone showed Twilight and the dad Carla. How old is he in the movie? Supposed to stop at
Probably like 45.
45. That kind of sucks. Like all of his kids are young and they're in their
45
20s.
is still pretty like,
No, I think it's like 45.
He's rocking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's fine, but it's like you're 60 and you're in vampire. Like, do you still?
You still want to have
that-
like a bum knee or like a
Yeah,
wrinkly thing.
exactly.
I guess would it fix the bum? I don't know the rules of vampire.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, you do. You read all those books. Come on.
Okay.
Don't act like you don't know.
I know a lot about it.
On the topic, do we want to very quickly hit the Air Kim private plane?
What you
Oh,
do?
what is it?
It was just on a recent episode of The Kardashians. Her private plane was shown, and it is like all cashmere everything. There's
Really?
a phone charger at every single seat. The bathroom looks like
Is she getting shit for this?
mid-century modern. I think people are just. I think to the extent that people are like, you always get shit for being like exorbitantly wealthy.
But that's the thing. If you're gonna be wealthy, if you're gonna have a PJ, like
Go
What,
big
you're-
or go home.
You called
Yeah, I
it a
mean-
PJ.
I'm sorry if
Do
I had
people say PJ?
I feel like
I feel like
uh,
people who ride PJs say
Yeah.
for sure.
I think people
You're
call
outing
it PJs.
yourself as a PJ.
I've never
user?
been on. Well, I guess technically I've been on a private plane, but I haven't really been on a private plane.
See, the all cashmere stresses me out. I'd spill.
I
Just knowing it's
know.
there. I'd spill.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's like,
people
how
are
do you dry
nitpicking.
clean a plane?
You can't.
Facts.
If anyone can figure that out, it's Kim.
It's it's Chris. It's Chris.
Chris
we
and
need a
Kim.
mind.
I'm not really. I don't really get mad or shocked at this point when they do post extravagant things because it's something that
Like
we've
they're
been saying
rich,
for 10
whatever.
years.
I know.
It's not.
I
This
know.
isn't coming out of the blue. I mean, their homes, their clothes. I saw the one scene of her closet of things that she's just worn one time with like 98 of the same jean jackets. I'm like, this is just.
Yeah, that was
Beyond.
a warehouse that
A
she
warehouse.
continuously like rents this warehouse. So she has everything she's worn from like 2006 onward in a huge warehouse.
Why?
I would love to.
She doesn't
see
give that away.
No.
That's what I was saying. It's such a waste.
But
It's
also
sitting in there.
planes. I was talking to the person who like kind of their head of banking of the bank that the Kardashians go to.
You were talking to their head of banking?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
How? Explain.
And she was saying, she was like, planes retain a ton of value. So even if, you know, Kylie and Kim buy these planes, first off, they could use it for business, I guess.
Yeah,
I think
have some
Kylie
write-offs.
uses it for business, but also if they were to resell even like 5-10 years down the line, like they're
It's
not
an investment.
Yeah.
And they
it's
also
like
can
it
lease out their
retains a
plane.
ton of value.
But just the cost of jet fuel and cleaning the plane is minimum 10 grand. I mean, it's just a lot of upkeep.
It also feels like the next like you should buy a boat thing. It's being like
yeah.
you should buy a plane. Like
I
it
know.
will appreciate in value.
I have
If
to
I
think
can
about
afford a private jet,
Yeah.
I'm going to buy one.
that. Right.
Well, I was gonna ask what if you could have a private jet, like absolute limitless resources and budget, like what one special feature would you want to have inside of it?
Ooh.
A kitchen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Kitchen.
I want to like be able to eat like.
Like really
That
well.
can't be safe
I got it.
to have like a stove in the air.
Well, I don't know. Well, a safe, some sort of kitchen, because I refuse to eat plain food.
Me
I don't
too.
care if I'm
I don't
flying
like
first
plain food.
class. They're like, well, what will you be having today? Nothing. I won't be eating your food.
And they take it personally.
They're like, oh, really? And I'm like, no, I don't
I'll,
want.
I
I'll take the
agree.
warm
I don't want a
nuts. I'm fine.
microwave Salisbury steak or whatever the fuck. Like,
No, whenever I see people eat crab on plane, I go,
Crab.
It
yes.
scares me.
I'm
Fish.
mesmerized by the people who eat airplane food.
Yeah.
It's just like, I know, like you splurge for first class, but like, ew. It's just.
Do you pack
Yeah.
your own lunch?
I do. I pack my own plain food.
Yeah. I normally
I
do.
either will.
Have some cut up apples.
There's something about it, just like it's not. I'd rather like eat I don't eat McDonald's, but I'd rather eat fast food
Then eat plain food.
than eat like something like dinner
Mm-hmm.
like that's turned into like like a TV dinner essentially.
Right,
It's a TV dinner.
What I
Yeah.
will say though is I feel like some airlines go out of their way to do like partnerships with like those
Like Wolfgang Puck.
Yes.
I've seen those. I'm like JetBlue and Wolfgang Puck.
Yes,
Yeah.
or
What a
even just
collab.
like they'll
Yeah.
have like for dessert it will be like one of those like mom founded
or
Whole
milk
Foods
farms, or
like
milk-
yeah.
Milk cookies. Those whatever it's called.
Soon I'm gonna be on American Airlines. I'd be like Nobu special. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. No. You know what I do? Cereal. You know those little like
Yeah, it has to be
Oh, those
packaged.
cups. Yeah, you
Yeah.
buy those and you buy milk. I'll eat some cereal on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
What
pick
kind
me
of
as like a
cereal?
Raisin Bran guy.
Cheerios or Lucky Charms usually.
That's so
That's
mean.
an insulting thing to say.
What?
Wait, I love Raisin
She
Bran.
said you're a Raisin Bran guy.
Oh, I don't like raisins.
I hate raisins.
Is it the
too.
brand? Do I look like a guy who likes to get his
It looks like
fiber?
it looks like if you had the choice, you'd like sway towards that one, not Special K or something.
Okay. It's Lucky Charms or Cheerios usually.
Cheerios with banana is my
Yeah, is
jam.
it?
My
Mhm.
jam.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm trying to think what I usually have. Tricks, but everything just tastes the same. I always thought the colors were
Tricks.
different.
You like Tricks?
I used to love Tricks, but I used to
As a
think that
kid, but they got
or Fruit Loops.
They don't keep.
no, they don't keep.
No.
Even Fruit Loops like that. But I thought the colors meant different flavors, but I realized as I got
We didn't
older,
really have it as a kid though. We'd only have it when our family was visiting. We'd buy it for them.
we
So
weren't even allowed
never-
to have soda
Yeah,
growing up.
we were.
We didn't have. Well, I had similar upbringing.
Mhm.
Like we called it sugar cereal, and it was a special occasion. Like we
Mhm.
had it, but it was on the
Not
rarest
every day.
occasions.
Yeah, that's right.
And soda also was treated as a luxury item.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
like
yeah.
it wasn't. We always had I had friends that like, their parents just bought cereal, and it was just
Oh, all the
and
time.
like and soda. And
Yeah.
I'd go there and I'd be drinking like 12
Yeah.
Mountain Dews. And
Oh my
come
god!
back
If I
like,
got my hands on a Shirley Temple, I'd have 7 more. Like I went crazy.
Yeah, you
for
did love
it.
Shirley Temples.
Yeah, we never had them.
I didn't like them at all. I used to like bubbly. I still don't like carbonated drinks now because of that. Yeah. Yeah, you won't find me drinking Perrier, so I definitely didn't drink your sparkling water.
I love the
So
bubbles.
for the listeners, there was a witch hunt before we started recording. To find
Who
out
took my Perrier?
and he immediately accused Allie.
I thought she had. I
For
thought she
no
had-
reason.
I thought she had a can of Perrier.
Yeah, Sophia's our first impression of Nick Viall. He's like, "Who took the Perrier?" We're like, "Hey, happy to be here."
I'm like, water, water, water.
All right, what else I got?
Okay, so Millie Bobby Brown and her co-star from Stranger Things had a little, I'll find his name, but they have a marriage pact, Noah Schnapp, that if they weren't married by age 40,
It always seems to be like the age of a marriage pact.
Yeah.
So they're gonna marry each other.
And I'm curious, like, one, has anybody ever gotten
Followed through that.
married?
Out of
Had
a
followed
marriage
through?
pact?
Yeah.
I'm
And
sure
then
it
two,
has.
what age would you make yours if you were going to make one?
I feel like it has happened.
I
I
would
bet Allie's Googling it right now.
I would do that.
She's going to be like, Idaho, 1979.
No, it's definitely happened.
Well, I have a follow-up question. She has a boyfriend.
Does she?
Doesn't he get upset that she's talking about marrying
That's
someone
an
else?
excellent point.
Right?
Like, would you be
Christine.
mad
Well,
if your
she's da-
girlfriend said that she had a marriage pact with her guy friend?
I would be
You'd be
annoyed.
like, why are you even
Yeah,
discussing
right?
this?
I'd be like,
Rude.
that seems unnecessary.
Yeah. And she's dating John Bon Jovi's kid.
Like, what would you say?
Wait, Millie Bobby Brown's dating John Bon Jovi's kid?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
How
Yes.
many sons does he have?
I think 2 or 3.
Because I've met one of them.
I know, we've
So,
met one of them.
He's neighbors with our parents just moved to Florida and they're neighbors, and him and Sly go to the spa, but that's besides the point. But I've seen them together and I was like, this is a power couple. These
Oh, really?
2 kids. Oh yeah.
Is he the one that's Scarlett's age? Like 20?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
But I would get married 45 and make that pact.
Well, what would you say to your girlfriend if she had a marriage pact with someone else? Or your boyfriend? I don't even know how I'd approach that without being.
Do I look like,
Yeah, am I
Yeah.
chopped liver?
like I require a backup plan or like?
Yeah, am I plan B
Oh.
or C?
Well, no, they're plan B. But
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, also they're so young. I don't think anything they're saying is actually serious.
Maybe, but I mean,
do you-
she's looking like she's 26 now. I'm like, my God, her hair is awesome. I don't know what the blonde did, but it changed everything.
Why is it the younger these kids are today, the older they look? I looked so ugly when I was
Me too.
17.
I wore a flash drive around my neck till I was 18.
Yeah, we were losers.
Full short story.
do you feel like you know, obviously you grew up with a celebrity
Yeah.
father. It seems like, and I don't know you two all that well, but I've been on your show.
Yeah.
You guys seem really grounded, down to earth.
you.
Thanks.
Like, is that obviously a result of your parents in a specific way they tried to raise you?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They
I give a lot of credit to my mom.
Yeah, kind of circling back to your first question, because we were in such a high profile family, and my mom as well, she has been on HSN selling her products for 20 years. So like TV was always around our family. They made a huge deal of keeping us really sheltered from it. And they didn't want us to do any sort of acting job or TV appearance or do anything
But our
until we
parents were
were
honest, though.
graduating high school.
Yeah, no, our parents were honest about like going to college, going to high school, getting good grades,
Yeah.
playing every sport,
There
doing
was a
community
lot of
service.
rules.
Like there
Yeah.
was so many rules. We were not allowed to have a boyfriend until we were at least 17.
Wasn't
we
allowed
were,
to drive until we were 18.
Yeah.
Because they just wanted us to, and it wasn't like helicopter parents. They gave us a lot of freedom because they trusted us. But
just speak for yourself.
I think, yeah, not you.
Are you the oldest?
Yeah.
Yeah, oldest.
Oh
That's
my
just-
God, everything is
I
delayed.
know.
I'm like now finally having.
Well, they
my
have to figure
driving-
things out with the
Of
oldest.
course.
Yeah, I
She's
know.
been
I
out.
know.
Oh,
Scarlett, my
okay.
God, she's the youngest. She gets to do whatever she
They
wants.
just realize what won't kill you, and they're just like, well, there's
Yeah,
no
exactly.
need. There's no need to like not let her
Yeah.
do that
Exactly.
thing.
I think-
I'm the second oldest, so I'm the
So
oldest
you gotta
boy.
kind of.
I got a lot of the rules.
Yeah,
You got a lot of, yeah.
She-
They're still trying with you. They're testing it out. But I think they saw the damage that children of famous people can have on their life. Like a lot of them are really messed up, and they didn't want us to, fall under that
Or either they're
category.
cheated, or they're entitled, or they're
Spoiled,
spoiled,
or
and they don't really think.
have no ambition.
Yeah,
and-
and so.
Yeah, it seems like their rules were set around allowing you to have or be able to enjoy
Yeah.
Mhm.
a normal childhood.
But also
Yeah.
realize that we're not that special. My mom would always say, "You're
goes-
honestly not that
she
special."
goes, "You're not- she
You're
humbles
like you're
us."
special to me and your dad and your sisters, but that's it. Like
Love
So
that.
don't have an ego just because of your name.
So they definitely, anytime we think that we are like a little bit
we're a little
they're
bit cool. They're like, no.
squash like instantly.
Seems like you guys have some really great parents.
They're
Yeah,
awesome.
I love them.
They're so
And
much
it was great
fun.
having a mom that she's a hardworking mom. My mom was like created her own $1 billion skincare line. Like she
billion.
kills
What
it.
you talking about?
Yeah,
Billion.
she sold $1 billion in sales.
What?
Yeah, she's told us
Okay,
that 400
Jen.
times. Like she doesn't. Yeah, she lets us know. But
Flex, mom.
it was cool because she also made sure we would work hard for everything that we tried to do. I mean, obviously, having the name comes with privileges, and we're not completely like we don't ignore that, but we don't also put not less than 110%.
Yeah, they've
into
never
everything. So,
opened a door for us, which is annoying.
Yeah, my dad's
which is actually
yeah.
really annoying.
It's really
because
frustrating. 'cause
I was
like,
I was trying to act a few years ago, and I realized this ain't for me. But I knew. At least I knew.
you got eaten by a shark.
And
I think that's
I would
peaked.
say, Sly, can you get me an audition. Can you put me in a movie? And he goes, absolutely not.
No,
That is the
literally
last thing
no.
I'll do. If you want to get a job, if you want an acting role, go out and get it yourself. And I'm like, "Oh,
I
fine."
feel like at some point he probably would have, but he wanted to make sure
Yeah.
it was something that you were truly passionate
I
about
think,
and wanted to do.
yeah, I think because they both came from absolutely nothing. I mean, my dad was homeless at one point. My mom was one of 7, like you. And she grew up in the Valley and she had
Lost
absent
both
parents.
parents,
Yeah, so they really understand the value of $1 and working hard for what you want. And they didn't want us just to, because we didn't grow up the same way, just to sort of, you know, take advantage of that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I don't feel like they. I mean, it's just. I feel like it's not as easy to do as what they did.
No,
Oh,
I
it's
think
not
from
at
a
all.
parenting standpoint, it would have been easier. Because like, I mean, I'm not a parent yet.
Mhm.
I have a dog,
That's a
And-
parent.
You're a pet
but
parent.
I always think about how I'll parent.
Mm-hmm.
But even getting Jeff, my dog, it's tough not want to just give everything you have and
Yeah.
everything you can give to the
Mhm.
thing that you love the
Yeah.
most,
Mhm.
and saying no sometimes and having boundaries
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
can be
it's-
really, really tough.
I
to
think
do.
it's all about a balance. If you have 2 parents that are extremely strict and hard on a kid, they're gonna lash out and act out. My mom was really strict about school, whereas my dad, if I said, you know, I got a C- on a test, he goes, Sistine, I failed all my classes. You're
Except
doing
art.
great. Like, so I think it's all about.
So it gave you some sort of perspective
yeah,
too.
like
where it was,
there's always a balance. There's a yin and a yang, and we're really lucky. We say all the time, we're so lucky
But
with
I
how
also
they
think
raised
our
us.
parent, my mom especially, because my dad was working a lot when we were growing up. He was always
Yeah.
on set, and even we'd stay with him on set for months. But my mom was involved in everything. Like she drove us to school every day. We had dinner every night together, literally as a family, the 5 of us.
Parent,
Every
teacher.
single tournament for volleyball. So I think also the involvement of my mom not just letting us go off and do whatever we wanted, and
Yeah.
then that's where our ego
Showing
could have
up
come-
is the biggest
Yeah.
thing.
Did you two have dinner every night with your parents?
No.
Is that still a thing? Because we did, and
I don't think it is.
I
a
think
thing that
about
much.
like Nally and I have pretty much dinner every night, and I feel like if we have kids together, that's something we will want to do. But I wonder if in today's society, is it happening less and
There
less?
was other kids that I went to school with who like did not do that, but it was something that my parents really believed in. And I wonder if part of it too was like both of my parents worked. So that was like the one time we had with them.
That's what it was.
So
Yeah.
even if it was like, okay, the nanny's going to like prep it and leave it in the fridge or like whip up something easy, that was like the
Yeah.
one time when they got home where we like had it with the 4 of us.
Yeah.
And then every Sunday we'd go to church and then go to Chipotle, and my mom would whip out the weekly
Oh, I
calendar and be
love
like,
that.
I'm traveling, Dad's picking you up here. And it was like strategy session at Chipotle,
good.
and then we'd do it all again.
Was
Structure
your
is
mom like
important.
very?
My mom's a CFO, so she's
Oh,
very
so,
like,
so
yeah.
our mom was very
Yeah.
organized. Like my dad is a complete B type, messy, just super creative.
Yeah.
My mom was OCD, A type. Everything's in order.
Kids need routine and they need consistency. And like you said, I think us having 5:30 dinner on the dot every day for
'Cause
the
that's when we
last
all were
20
available.
years.
Yeah.
No, even
5:30.
5. We
5:30.
ate really early. It was super weird.
I love it now.
But like my dad would even rush home from the editing room being like, I gotta go get dinner. And they're like, it's 5 p.m. Like, why are you leaving? So
love that.
that was important just to bring everyone together.
Yeah.
And it was nice.
That's great.
Wholesome content.
Did you
No,
guys
yeah.
ever get bullied at all, having famous parents?
We
You just
actually
unpacked a can of worms, my friend.
bullied.
So yeah.
I got asked to leave the school because I was getting bullied so much.
Sophia was
Yeah.
bullied really bad.
They asked you and not the bullies?
No,
Well, I'll tell
because
you-
the kids were,
Well,
the parents
you're missing key
financing.
details.
I've heard a lot of stories. You hear a lot of stories, and I'll let you
Yeah.
finish yours. Of it still seems like bullying is an epidemic that's not properly addressed.
100%.
totally not.
Like it seems like bullies get away with a lot still,
100%.
and like teachers aren't really
Yeah.
actively addressing. I mean, that's just again from an outsider, someone who doesn't have
No,
kids, but you hear
I-
stories where it's
Yeah.
just like
That is the hardest part. And we have a lot of parents asking Sophia and I, because we've been through high school, and asking my parents, where should I send my kid? Because where is the most normal group of kids? And it's so hard to give them an answer because it happens everywhere. I know that we went to like a wealthier private school for a few years, and I only lasted 2 years because it was all about who your parents were, how you dressed, how much money you had, where you vacationed, and I would wear sweatpants
And well, let me
2
just
days
preface,
of the.
Sistine and I were not stylish or cute growing up.
No,
like,
I-
and I
well,
know,
meanwhile, you had parents who as we just talked about earlier, specifically didn't want you guys to like be these types of kids.
And we were only surrounded by those types
and we
of
also
kids.
didn't like a lot of these kids had multiple houses, private planes. We had one house in LA that we lived in. There was nothing else. We didn't have a private plane. We didn't have boats. We weren't raised like around that.
But these kids were wearing like Cartier bracelets
Yeah,
in
it was
8th grade up their
crazy.
arm. And I was like wearing sweatpants, and I had boys coming up to me like, didn't you wear those pants last week? I'm like, is this a joke? Like, I'm in 7th
Yeah,
grade.
literally, it was insane.
But Sophia got bullied so bad at this school to the point where she wouldn't even report it because she ain't a snitch.
Yeah,
And the teachers actually reported it because they saw it happening so often and so
a
consistently.
student saw it, and then they literally said to me, "You should go because you're obviously this is not."
Well, they
working out
said
here."
we recommend you leave the school because we can't control the situation
the
the
parents finance.
the kids that are
their
bullying
programs.
her are such high donors of the school,
Yeah.
so
See,
they
that's
can't get rid
bullshit.
of them.
Is that insane?
So my mom said, "F this, we're going to school in the valley," and we did, and it was
And we loved
amazing. Yeah,
I mean,
But that's what I'm
loved it to
saying.
an
It
extent.
seems like stories like that happen so
Yeah.
often where like it's like I don't know if is it the teachers they don't feel empowered to do anything about standing up to the
Yeah,
bullies?
actually,
I-
these kids actually used to bully the teachers.
yeah.
it was
had,
that bad.
I mean, if I told you the person's name, which I won't on camera, you'd know exactly who I'm talking about. But this kid in particular would make my teacher run out of the room crying every single day.
It's a public figure.
The child of a
Kinda.
public figure, and
Kinda.
and it's just disgusting the names that they would call them. So disgusting. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And it's sad. And if you think about it, they were only 15 years old treating an adult like this, which was ridiculous.
So it's kind
You
of funny.
can create little monsters if you don't.
Yeah.
That's why they were
Parent
so
properly.
scared.
Yeah. So my mom always used to tell us like, don't blame the kids, blame the parents. And so we never really got mad. It's like not nice the kids are doing it, but she never also, that's why we never retaliated.
Yeah.
But then my dad on the side would teach us how to throw a punch if we ever needed to. So
man.
we didn't step up and do anything. But if push comes to shove,
We actually never told my dad any of what went down
Oh, 'cause he would-
because he gets so hot-headed and he's so protective that he would just take measures a step too far.
yeah.
Like if a boy called the house, he would like take the phone from us and be like, "You're never allowed to call again." And
Move to Egypt.
I remember I
all
had this
stuff.
one guy when I was in 8th grade. He would
Can
like,
you tuning your dad's voice for me?
how does he do it? He's like,
Which one are you talking about?
Sophia, where the fuck are you?
Oh no, I remember when I the first boy I brought home, because I'm the oldest, so I
Oh,
had
this
like the
is
first
so
boyfriend,
bad.
for example, I'm freaking out, and I remember prefacing with him like, please just be nice, please. And he's actually a teddy bear. He looks scary, but he tries to act tough.
Yeah.
And so my boyfriend at the time comes in, and he's just like very small. He's kind of skinny.
He's a skinny DJ.
Skinny DJ now. He grabs his hand and shakes it. And I guess my ex was just kind of like this.
It was like a wet fish hand.
And
Oh.
he pulls him in. He goes, "Next time, shake it like a man."
He said,
throws
"Shake
it
it like a
down.
man," threw it out, and then
The
walked
kid
away.
came over every day, was like squeezing as tight as he can, and he never forgot it. Now
Well, you
he's
don't want to
doing it.
squeeze. There's definitely a right way
Yeah.
and a wrong way. And I think a too hard of a squeeze is even worse than a wet noodle handshake.
Why do you think you're trying to be too dominant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So you need a happy medium.
I think when a guy shakes my hand and squeezes the shit out of it, and I pride myself in having a nice, firm,
Firm, yeah.
like
But
handshake.
Approachable.
But yeah, I read insecure immediately.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
like overcompensating.
but I also, I agree with that. But then you would also see this guy as weak if you had a wet noodle hand. Like you would, I would rather
I read more
someone.
unsure of yourself,
Yeah.
and there's a difference between insecure and unsure of yourself.
Yeah, it's like cocky versus confident.
What's worse though, the wet noodle handshake or the people who hug and it's just like
Oh,
the
I
like
hate those.
whisper
I hate
hug.
that one.
I'm like, just hug me. Like,
Yeah,
if
I
you're
know,
going
I'm a
in for the
hugger.
hug, just hug.
I can be guilty of.
Then don't hug
that's
if you're
you?
gonna do this weird like.
Well, here's the thing.
I agree.
I'm not going up to hug you. I'm hugging back.
In LA,
Oh.
the hugs choose you.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's true.
It's so funny how you decide whether in that second you're like, okay, I'm gonna hug you. Like when we came up to you guys, I was like, it's going for a hug because I feel hug vibes.
I'm a hugger. It's like okay.
I do that all the time. I'm like, I'm a hugger. Get ready.
Or the worst is when they're going in for a handshake and you were already going for the hug and you're like, bring it in.
I
them.
realize though I could get better though at giving. Just all right, fine. We're hugging.
get it, though.
And
It's
just
like a
and just give the
personal
hug.
squeeze is enough. You don't have to just bear
'Cause
hug
I'll do
them.
the
Oh, that's just weird.
no.
That's a wet noodle.
That
answer.
back
It's a-
tap
yeah.
is like, ugh.
No, I mean, listen, I can.
But
own
there's
my-
also like
my limits.
a hard thing I've noticed like since we've had guests in studio, like there's a height thing too, especially if they're
Yeah.
so much taller. Like when we had Shane in from Love is Blind, very nice, gave us all hugs. But it's this weird moment where you're like, can I get on my tiptoes enough to put my head over your
Over your
shoulder?
shoulder.
Or do I have to do this weird like chest?
romantic?
Nestle
In your
in.
armpit.
Feel your
Yeah,
arm.
I'm like, where do I go?
Does he smell
And
as
he's-
good as everyone says he does?
He smells what?
He had a good smell.
Did
Yeah.
a good smell?
Yeah.
Everyone,
Wait,
there
who's
was like
this?
from Love is Blind, Shane, the blonde, who had like the wide eyes. You know?
It's a nice way of saying he
have no
drinks
idea.
too much
Oh, the
coffee.
crazy eyes.
The crazy so it was like
I'm convinced he was
but
on
everyone
drugs.
for some reason like 2 girls on the show said he smelled good, and then they found out what cologne he used. I was curious if that was actually good.
I think. Well, he prides himself. He was high fashion. He came in wearing.
He's fancy.
He takes pride in his appearance.
Good.
Yeah,
I like that. I like people that
Shows
put effort
up.
in.
Shows
Yeah.
up.
for sure.
Okay, so you are not allowed to get married in Las Vegas with an Elvis impersonator anymore unless you are going through the official like estate of Elvis like is cracking down and like you now have to pay. And that feels like an end of an era.
I actually was
does.
just saying to Sistine, I always have wanted to get married in Vegas before actually getting married, because I think it'd be fun to like have an elope wedding there with Elvis and just remember it for the 2 of you, and then you obviously have like the formal thing. But now it's just not
It
the
seems kind
same.
of
I don't want to get.
convenient with the timing of this film coming out. Do you think it has anything to do with that?
That feels relevant. Well, I was also going to ask, like, if you were going to get married and have a celebrity impersonator, who would you want to be
I already know what you would
officiating
say.
your wedding?
Danny DeVito.
I knew it. I knew you were
we
gonna
had
say
a we
that.
had a
Can you
card.
just get Danny?
I honestly I probably could. I think he lives in Malibu or
He
something.
does.
We had a cardboard cutout, life size, of Danny
still
DeVito in
we
our
still have it?
apartment. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Dolly Parton would be another good one to
Dolly
marry
Parton
me.
would be great actually.
Yeah, she's so great.
I didn't even think of that one.
I feel like it's a little greedy of the Elvis estate. I think he's one of the
Yeah.
most wealthiest dead people ever. He
True.
makes like I think Elvis. What does Elvis make on an annual basis? He's definitely made 60 mil in previous years, and I think it's only going up.
Well, now I'm curious who they're going to replace the Elvis with. Just a regular dude? That's so boring. Like,
Well,
who-
because before I think anyone could just do it,
right.
and now like it's now. I'm sure it'll be done, but like they could sue
That's
you.
such a bummer.
Yeah.
We had this plan to fly our parents out because they just celebrated their 25th anniversary together, and we wanted them to get remarried with Elvis. And
Well,
now it's
they
just
did-
going to be remarried with
They
a
did
stranger.
that for their like 15 year. They my mom and her sister, they all went out and they all wore like crop tops, and they just got like hitched in Vegas for like a renewal, and it was
Damn,
so cool.
I'm bummed.
Well, in 2019, Elvis earned $39 million in
Wow.
that year. So
That's still a lot for
But now,
Not bad, Elvis.
not anymore.
Not bad.
touche.
Touche.
I do feel like Dolly Parton is like one of the most beloved, like universally beloved people.
Yeah.
Like you cannot find someone who doesn't like Dolly
I
Parton.
completely
Yeah,
agree
it's
with
true.
that.
Should we talk about drunk I love yous
Ooh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
before we get to texting office hours?
Conversation topic, which is
Uh-oh.
just that one in a
It's a
relationship.
popular one.
Yeah.
Popular one. Topical.
We never quite covered though.
In a relationship, one, have you ever had your first I love you come like when you guys are like drinking or just like having a night out?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do you think that counts? Or like,
Have you,
or how
when
do
you
you
say
conceive of
yeah,
it?
I can't. Are you the one who said it or received it?
I received it.
I don't think we've ever said I love you first.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I haven't.
definitely not me.
I wanted to so bad if they weren't going to do it soon, and then they end up
The
doing
one
it.
you're with now.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me. My first, I've actually never been in love until my last relationship. RIP to that relationship. But the first I love you was a very drunk night out, and I wasn't that drunk, and I was like, I think you're not gonna remember anything. And thank God I woke up the next day. I was like, hey, did you remember what you said to me? And he goes, no, what are you talking about?
Oh,
Wait, are you serious?
No, then he was fucking with me. He
Oh,
was like,
okay.
"Yeah,
I was gonna say.
remember."
I was like, wait, but does it depend on? Does it have to be? Are you talking wasted drunk? Or are you talking about just you had a couple drinks? Because there's a difference. If they're
Sophia, if you're at a club sober or drunk and someone says,
no,
I
we were
love
at a
you,
restaurant.
not the
and
right
we had
time.
like a couple cocktails, and he just like saw me and says like, I love you so much. I'm like, oh. It was sweet. I remembered it.
do you
He
think?
remembered
Do you think it should be the guy?
Oh.
Times are changing. I don't know. For me personally,
Natalie said it to me first.
yeah. See, I don't think there's anything wrong with the girl or the guy saying it first. But for me personally, I'm just too shy and
stubborn.
scared of rejection that I don't want them to be like, I really like you too. And you're just like, oh. Like I get nervous because I just don't want to hear the wrong thing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like a risk either way, unless you've waited to a point where it's so obvious and you look at each other googly eyes and are thinking it constantly but aren't saying it. Like, unless it's that situation, I feel like that's why it makes sense to have it be like a few drinks in when
I
you've
think
like loosened up a little bit.
That's why I think everyone feels probably more comfortable saying it. I feel like a lot of people end up saying it after a couple of drinks because they're like, they think
Liquid
they want to
courage.
say, yeah. I don't know.
I'm definitely not
courage with that.
risky with relationships. I play it so safe.
I almost said it with this one for the first time because I only have been in love once and I didn't say it first the last time. And so this time I was such on the brink of wanting to say, and it was inching and I was still I wasn't drinking at that point. I'm like, oh God, if he wasn't going to say it soon, I would have said it. And I think it would have been fine. And I think if you're feeling it and you just know in your gut that that person's in the same realm and emotion wise, then go at it. Like, I don't care. Because, like, look what happened. Like, Natalie said it to you first.
Well, Natalie puts herself out there first. She's
Yeah, she doesn't
like,
give a fuck. She's
doesn't
just
give a
like, I'm
fuck.
gonna
But I
whatever.
love that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's awesome.
Like, she owns it and she goes, okay, if I, like, why do I have to wait for someone to tell me that
And
they,
do
like, validate
guys
me if I
get
can't?
sort of taken back when they say it first? Because sometimes men, in my experience, feel inferior or that, like, I'm wearing the pants if I'm making all these moves first.
I can't speak for all guys. I think now more and more it's becoming less of a thing. Even to the point where I think if it bothers a guy, I think that's kind of a red flag.
Run.
If it catches them off guard, kind of like they wanted to say it first, I think they can be disappointed. They can make a joke about like, oh, I wish I wanted to say it first. But if they got actually bothered by it, like offended to the point where they got frustrated at you for like taking that moment away from them, then I think it's a red flag.
And you asked if drunk I love yous count?
Yeah, or also like, do you distinguish between like the first time they say it drunk versus like sober?
No.
I think they count.
I think they fully count. Loose lip sync chips? No, that's the
No,
bad one.
that's not it.
No, what is it? No,
Drunk words, sober thoughts. Loose lip sync
Drunk
You've never
words,
heard
sober
that?
thoughts.
Yeah. Well, here's what I think.
Like loose lip sync chips. No, you can say I love you.
An
to
apple a day?
Because I love you is subjective. Love means so many different things to different people.
Right.
It means different things to the same person over the course of a lifetime, right? Like when you're younger and the first time you say I love you, for a lot of people, you're just thinking, what am I feeling? What is this? This isn't, it must be love.
Yeah,
I love,
right.
I'm just excited. You know, it can be for some people just incredible excitement. That's why some people might confuse, you know, and here, I was about to say some people might confuse love with lust, but like, again, it's subjective. No one can really tell people like, you know, if you are or aren't in love. But I think it does evolve for people over time, especially if you've been in love before and got your heart broken and maybe it didn't work out. People often are a little bit more careful about that word in the future, right? And maybe they start thinking, well, yeah, I'm excited about this person and I feel strongly about this person, but maybe they want to learn a little bit more about how they handle disappointment or how, you know, things evolve. But when I think, especially in those situations when people are drinking or intoxicated or whatever, the reality is why I think it matters is because regardless of what they want to call love or maybe their definition has changed, they are clearly feeling something.
Yeah.
And in that moment, they are considering it to be love. And maybe it ends up being excitement, which is why maybe some people, when they say I love you drunk and then sober, they're like, they kind of pull back a little bit. I don't think people should be offended by that. I think it just means because I think, again, they clearly are feeling something for you. And if they pull back, it just maybe means they want to protect that word a little bit more. And it's not necessarily something that you should be offended by.
No.
It just maybe means that, like, you know, maybe in the past they were quick to say it for someone they fell out of love with or they got cheated on or something happened.
Right.
But clearly you can trust that they are excited about
I mean, that
you.
makes me feel
They
better.
are
I like
into
it.
you.
I
No,
like
they're
it.
saying to
They are,
validate
like-
their feelings. I mean,
Yeah.
if they associated those overwhelming emotions with love and them just saying love, I think people put such a heavy emphasis on the word love and not just enough on just the actions and the emotions and the feelings leading up to it, building on it. Yeah, if someone pulls back because they said the word love, it doesn't mean they don't love you. It just means that they want to take it.
Yeah, they just maybe want to consider it a
Yeah.
little bit more
Yeah.
thoroughly, and they want it. It clearly means that word must matter to them to
Yeah.
the point where, and maybe they've made the mistake of saying it what they ended up thinking was a little too early.
Right.
But the feelings of love clearly exist because they
Right.
said it.
Exactly.
Ah, love.
All right, well, it's time for texting office hours. Let's get to our caller. How's it going?
Hi, I'm Allison. I'm 25. I need help drafting a text to my cousin telling him that I'm not going to his wedding. It's 2 weeks from now. I already RSVP'd that I was going, but essentially there are just kind of like a lot of bitter feelings going on kind of on both ends.
Between you and the
They-
cousin, or like the fam? Is this bleed into the family, or is it just cousin? Just you and him?
So it's kind of on a bunch of different fronts.
Why
so
aren't you
basically,
going?
Because it's in Vermont and I live in LA.
Okay.
And it's like,
Practically, it's
When
just
I
a
was-
giant inconvenience.
it's a giant inconvenience. It was going to be like $5,000, like flights, hotels. It's in the middle of nowhere. So it's really just an inconvenience. But my problem is I've clearly waited too long to tell them I'm not going because it's literally on the 18th and it's the 6th.
And what are the other like? I mean, are you close with this cousin? Because like
We were like,
am I a
5
dick
years
that I would just be
ago.
like, sorry, like this is not a big
Right.
deal for
Well,
me?
I think a lot of cousins aren't that close. It's not.
I guess
like
it
a
just
sibling.
depends, yeah,
it
right?
just depends on the person.
We were pretty close. I mean, he's like 14 years older than I am.
Mhm.
So we're never like, we didn't like grow up together because he's a lot older, obviously. But I think the big thing is that it's not technically their wedding. They're already legally married. And I was disinvited from the first wedding.
What?
What?
Oh.
Explain.
Yeah. So they got married on Zoom during the pandemic.
You got
And they were
uninvited from
allowed-
the Zoom?
Yeah. Wait.
No.
Walk me through the Zoom wedding you got disinvited to.
Okay. So they got married on Zoom and they were allowed to have like 10 people at the actual wedding. And
Oh.
then I got disinvited from the actual wedding. And they were like, good news, you can Zoom in.
So they'd already selected you as one of the 10?
Yeah. And then they
Oh.
changed their mind and picked somebody else.
What?
Ooh. Well,
And
I
they
wouldn't-
had the person, so I saw the photos after, and the person that they had like replaced me with, they have like, I have been in the room while they have like talked trash about them.
What? So how did they word that disinvite?
Yeah,
Like,
how did you get disinvited?
Yeah, because
They
you should copy
they-
and
Yeah.
paste that.
That's so smart.
That's petty though. But
they weren't sending me details, and I was like, hey, like what time am I supposed to be there? What am I supposed to wear? Like classic questions. And then they were like, so sorry, you're actually not going to be able to join us.
Okay. See,
person.
them not sending you details is basically their way of saying, oh, maybe if we don't tell her what's happening, she'll probably forget and won't ask questions. So what you're doing right now by not going, I wouldn't feel so bad because they kept you out of the loop. You waiting so long. I mean,
here's my only concern for her
what?
is that, I mean, even though we joked about doing the same thing, is that they could accuse you of just being petty.
I was just gonna say,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Ooh.
saying?
Yeah.
Have you guys talked, you and the cousin, since the wedding or the first wedding?
I mean, I don't really know how much you want to get into this. It's quite the thing. They've come to visit me in LA. I've gone to go see them in Milwaukee. And it was like not great experiences.
They live in Milwaukee. Why are they getting married in Vermont?
Exactly.
Oh,
Oh my.
so I was trying to figure out what the
So
relationship
Vermont
is now.
is not a like they just it's a destination wedding in
So
Vermont.
my cousin's husband grew up in Vermont.
Mhm.
So they
Oh,
want to
okay.
get married in Vermont.
Okay.
So married. They're already married.
How
It's
big
not really
is
a
this
wedding.
wedding? Is
It's
this
a party.
a big wedding or is it a smaller family wedding?
I want to say it's like 120 120 people,
That's a lot of
125.
Okay.
Is that a big wedding? No.
And so why haven't you
Exactly.
just told them? Like,
Because my cousin's name is Brian, we'll put it that way. He was like telling me, he was like, I'm really disappointed that people aren't prioritizing me and that they aren't like making time to come to my wedding. And like, it kind of was like a guilt trip of like, he even said too, he was like, I don't think when people say they can't afford it, that it's a valid excuse.
That's
What?
very valid.
that's the valid. That
It's
is
like the most valid.
That's the most
excuse.
valid reason.
Especially if you're doing a destination wedding, that's
People
like the
have
number one thing
jobs,
to
it's
be
hard to
aware
get
of.
It's even
off
more
work
valid
and-
than I don't like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like you get right, if you get invited to a wedding, especially if it's family and they're not your favorite cousin or favorite sibling or whatever, and maybe you don't even care to be around them, but you're like, hey, you're getting married, so I'm gonna come and be a part of your day. But if you get married, like if you have a destination wedding that requires anyone to travel, I'm of the opinion that you do that at your risk, I guess, of not feeling special. Like, it is not a dare to see just how special people really think you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
get what you're
have
saying
a
there.
question. Are you the only family member that won't be able to make it to the wedding?
I would be one of the only family members that would go to the wedding because everybody else has already said no, but they're all coming. I'm the only one who would be coming from this far
So
because
do you
everybody's kind of like spread out throughout the entire country.
Do you feel guilty like you're having to show up because no one else is able to?
Essentially, yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Do they like have a registry for gifts? Because I'm like, how can we break the news and then follow up with something to show like some kind of like support?
They
Or-
just have a GoFundMe because they want to adopt a baby.
So could you like
interesting.
kind of like send the text, like, you know, we can write out something that's like a very heartfelt, I'm sorry, and then kind
Here's
of
$150.
well, and then donate to the GoFundMe right after, so that way they like know that it's.
She's like, I don't want to
I
spend
don't know.
$5,000.
Honestly, I
Donate
feel like
$5,000.
I think that's a risk.
Yeah.
I think you run the risk of them dismissing the donation.
Oh,
I'm also not
Because
sure.
I think you let them be mad first and then donate. Let it get them out of their system.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if he really told you people can't affording it is not a valid excuse.
Yes.
that makes me want to go less. Like I'm going. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go either.
Yeah, we're not showing up.
I can't imagine. I don't want anyone at my wedding. Like if I get married and I invite people, I want anyone I invite to be there. But I don't want anyone to come if it's like at a cost that like
Or if it's a burden for them.
like a real burden. I don't mean like, and maybe what I'm guessing, if I'm giving your cousin the benefit of the doubt, is that what they are really saying is like, there's a difference between I can't afford something and I don't want to pay for this.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to afford it, basically.
Yeah,
It's
but
kind of-
like anything over, not considering people's individual financial situations, but anything that's like $1,000 or over, like you don't get a say on whether someone can afford it or not.
I agree.
Mhm. Are you close with the bride?
It's two guys. It's
Oh, so
their,
you guys. Okay. Are you close
husbands.
with his husband? Or
I
husband?
was. I wouldn't say as much anymore now that we live so far apart.
I was gonna say.
I don't
if
know.
Maybe she would reach
Whenever
out to him.
I'm obviously on a different scale, of course, yours is a much more serious scale. But whenever I'm considering whether I should go to an event or not, I always ask myself, will my presence actually make a difference being there? Like, will me showing up, make the wedding party better, make both the grooms happier? And if the answer is yes, then I would go. And if you think the answer is not really no, then I wouldn't feel bad about missing
Also,
it.
I think, I hate that quote, time heals all wounds. I feel like, yeah, you're going to have to rip the Band-Aid off with this and then everyone's going to be bitter and they're going to probably project the stress of the wedding onto this one little situation because sometimes they just don't want to confront what's actually bothering
And
them.
especially when it's on a wedding day, like both parties are like, this is my day, it's special, everything needs to go my way, everyone needs to show up for
But we're
me.
also assuming, because this could also not be as bad of a response if
Yeah,
she says
well,
it the right way.
que-
Like, I'm trying not to.
question.
It's
The
Go
fact
for
that
it.
it is two men and it's a gay wedding, is there any are they from Milwaukee? Both of them? or one of them?
I'm from St. Louis, one's from St. Louis, and the other one's from Boston.
Do you think there's any insecurity about like not getting the support from the family that they think they would if it was a heterosexual relationship?
I don't think so.
You don't think? Okay.
I truly think it's like location based of just like it's so inconvenient to get there is kind of like the big thing. And they're already
so
married.
how much? I'm curious. How much is it a cost versus an inconvenience to you? Because like honestly, I don't want to get on a plane to Vermont.
To Vermont, it's like LA, Chicago, Albany, then I have to drive to Vermont. So it's
Oh my God.
And is it really 5,000? Do you think it would be?
I mean, airfare it would probably be 2,400, and then
rent a car.
Yeah, probably about $4,000, four or five. Yeah.
So I think we're gonna.
And it's a cash bar too. So I have to pay for that.
Okay.
Oh.
You're done.
Are you serious?
That's all you need to say. Sorry, I don't go to cash bar weddings.
That's it.
Sorry, cash bars
we're
are
actually
against my
hearing the truth
religion.
now.
Answer made. We know what the right thing is.
What's the best text?
She just says, I can't go to a cash bar wedding.
Well, here's the thing. There's no text that is going to prevent you from disappointing him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to know that. Also, I don't know if this is a text.
I think it's a call.
Yeah, it might be a call.
I don't want to call, so I think it's a text.
You've decided it's going to be a
I've
text,
decided
whether
it
I
will.
think.
Voice memo.
Voice note. A voice note.
A voice
Send a
note.
voice note because you can have it written out.
A voice note's
How-
not a bad.
What are those
alternative.
animals?
At least you could, you can sound like you care.
What
Yeah.
about like a Bitmoji? You know what
Like a talking cow. No, I think that you should do a voice note and have it pre-written as if it was going to be the text you were going to send. So then it sounds sincere. Because sometimes when you're reading a text, that person's reading it in a different tone than
And they read
you
it
wrote
and
it.
how he's going to read it.
In like a sassy way, like
Yeah.
bitchy, like, oh, she's not showing up for me. But
I,
you're
I,
probably
I do
writing
think
it
a voice
sincere.
note memo is a.
I don't think it's a bad
If
idea.
you don't want to call and get on the phone and deal with what I'm assuming is shame and guilt, then I think a voice note will give a level of sincerity that a text won't have.
And they expire.
You don't think that's weird though for him to just just open his phone and see the little like lines and it be like 54 seconds? Like, is that even worse?
I mean, voice
that-
notes.
It
I don't
doesn't
know
feel
what's
as like
better.
I don't know.
People send voice
He'll
notes.
find out right away what it is.
Yeah.
You know, like the
Yeah.
second he sees it, he will open it and,
And I
listen
think
to
it
it and
should start
understand.
And
by
if he's
saying-
never gotten a voice note before, it will seem special.
And you should include how, although you can't be there this time, the next time you're in LA, that you're gonna plan some fun night out and celebrate and do something special for
Also,
them.
I think prefacing that it's really hard to get into words what you want to say over a text and over a phone call is like that's so valid because some people have a really hard time articulating what they want to say on a call and sometimes on a text. And so I think a voice note is actually the way to go.
Yeah, and you can
because
reshoot it and
you can
keep
write out-
retaping it until it
Yeah.
sounds perfect.
You also can write out exactly what you want to say beforehand.
yeah.
I
So you
also
can
think
kind of-
you can acknowledge like that you waited, be like, I understand that like this is like recent and I just like I felt so bad about this. Like I think you can just be very honest about that process.
Yeah.
So that way
Mhm.
kind of like acknowledging like any of the things that they might be frustrated about. Just like you're not going to prevent them from being frustrated, but you can at least like speak to them and show that you're considering them. And like just being like, I'm so sorry that this is late. Like I was dreading doing this because of course like I would never want to miss an important event, but like it's simply not feasible.
Here's one thing we're missing, and it might require a lie.
Mm. we're like, go on.
Stallone Sisters are like, "Hi."
Because-
I'm in the business of lies.
Because you want to ideally you want to send it where it doesn't sound like you just don't want to go,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and you need an actual reason, right?
Yeah.
Because it's saying it even is too expensive. But you could say it's just too expensive, and you could leave it at that. But then they might even be able to like, well, why didn't you book your flight earlier? Or why are you waiting the last minute to like make all these accommodations
Mhm.
that are only going to increase the cost of your trip?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something they would say?
I think they would probably be like, why'd you wait to the last minute? Yeah.
I don't think you should bring up the cost because they're just going to throw it back in your face. I think it has to be a little white lie.
Can you be overwhelmed with work?
Yeah, they won't let you take time off.
That's also a good one, I guess.
Because
That
that
could
way
work.
they
Keep
can't
blaming
blame
on someone?
you.
Can
Yeah.
you blame it on a sick? No, you can't say sickness. I'm gonna get the flu in like a week.
I was gonna tell him because I'm going to Vegas this weekend. I was like, oh, I got COVID in Vegas, but then
Oh,
I don't
then I
love.
have to like block them on all my social media.
I don't
and
love
be like,
lying about COVID.
I know that is kind of bad now that I think about it, but I don't know.
But like saying you couldn't get off of work, that's
Yeah, and you can do either that alone or you can do a combination of like I was waiting, like I kept waiting for my work schedule to buy flights and like I realized and then
Yeah,
my
there we
manager
go.
really like fucked me over and
You
then
could say that you requested time off weeks ago and then they granted it and then something happened.
and they mix up the weekend
that you kept
asked for.
checking in and trying to get time off and it just wasn't working out last minute.
But you have to also make sure she has exactly what the work conflict
And I'll
is.
tell you, the key to a good lie is very specific, small details. The more detailed, the more
well,
realistic.
I don't know. Amber Heard gave a lot of details. Not too many details. Yeah.
but I think at least one specific detail.
Yeah, it
Like
has
at
to.
least
It needs
to
sprinkle
be
one
specific.
specific detail
Like
in there.
throw a coworker's name in there, something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
Just when
Don't-
you
but
ask,
this is,
yeah.
this is a voice memo note. I don't think we have to go in a long story. I just say,
Like a 20-minute long
I like
voicemail.
I didn't get the time off of work I wanted to.
like, hey, I requested time off of work a really long time ago, and like,
And what do you do for work?
I'm a talent producer for television.
Okay, yeah, that's a very
That's a
like
busy job.
that's a very like unpredictable
Mhm.
job.
You have to be on
And-
set for something.
Yeah, be like we got
Mhm.
you know.
Like there's a
ugh.
new show coming out that you have to be on set for, and
Or
you
maybe
thought
you
it
had to
was-
fly to Vegas to do your show for something else and
I-
you weren't even in LA.
I think you just keep like I couldn't get off of work and I
Yeah.
really tried, and they make him call you a liar. You know what I'm saying? Like he may not
True.
even believe it, but like it's it's a specific thing that's out of your control,
Mhm.
and that's why you're not going.
Mm-hmm.
And I would maybe consider, I know it's different weekends and it's this weekend versus next weekend, but maybe just like mute them from your stories
Yeah, I was
for a
just gonna
bit so
say.
they don't see you out in Vegas. They don't see you doing anything other than that. Because in their mind, they might think, oh, well, she got time off for Vegas, but she couldn't get it off for her wedding.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't let them have any reason to think
That you're not
that it's not
mourning.
that. Yeah.
Or
Are we condoning lying? Ooh, but
it's not lying if you believe it.
yeah.
or what you could do, if
I
you
mean,
really
in these
want to
situations, I feel like it's okay because your cousin's being a little unreasonable.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And it saves hard feelings in the long run, maybe, to make it better.
I don't like
know.
the condoning lying, but it's a tact.
We're trying to save her though.
Yeah,
We're
no, I
trying to
get
make
it's harm
We're on your
reduction
team.
is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, we're I'm okay with it. Just like don't lie about having COVID. Then that's a snowball lie. You kind of have to then you have to perpetuate that lie.
Yeah.
Or like I couldn't get off of work. Simple.
Yeah,
Done.
I agree with that.
I can't knowingly send you to a cash only bar. That's
Yeah.
just not happening. So you know what to do.
Yeah, I think you have
Exactly.
to maybe like open the note by like being like acknowledging that it's disappointing, being like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I hate that I have to send this." Then we get into the work lie, and then I think like the idea of like the next time you're in LA, like I would love to like
Yeah.
go out to dinner to celebrate your like make it something
Mhm.
wedding specific.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then what you could do on the day of their wedding, send them something really nice, like some flowers
Yeah.
the day before, another
Mhm.
nice
Mhm.
voice note saying you're thinking of them, that you wish you were there.
Mhm.
Make him feel special because he just wants to feel special. So try to do some things in your control that are like not $5,000 to make them feel like, you know, at
Yeah.
least it's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Hopefully this was helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very
Please let us
helpful
know
for
the
sure.
response.
Yeah, I'm really
Yeah.
curious how this turns out.
They're
Yeah.
gonna, like react.
They're gonna to give you a thumbs
What
up.
if they like thumbs down it?
Oh, then you sell them one flower. You don't sell them a bouquet.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, shake it off.
Yeah. for
They'll
sure.
get over it. Honestly, they're gonna be so focused on the honeymoon.
That's
and all
the
that
crap
stuff.
thing about weddings, and this particular wedding is like, to your point,
Mhm.
Sistine, like it's not like, and no offense to you, but like
No.
you're not
Yeah.
making or breaking their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they just want, like they want to feel special, and they want each individual to care, even though none of the people attending really matter.
Yeah.
as it relates to like the day.
Yeah, I think if anything went wrong on that day, if the catering was messed up, like they'd have the same reaction to you not showing up. I don't even think you should take it personally if it is a bad reaction.
Also, don't get married in Vermont if you're not
Well,
from
and I
Vermont.
think
Yep.
honestly, today being a Monday and their wedding is like exactly like 2 work weeks away could be like a good day to send that, because I mean, I don't know how like time off requests work, but I think
you
like
just found out on a Monday.
exactly, it's a Monday,
Mhm.
it's 2 weeks away. Like they might have just released a schedule.
Mm,
For
Yeah,
the
yeah,
next
and do
2
it
weeks.
now because
Do
you're
it
like, oh, I
today.
just found out.
Yeah, in the middle of the
Oh.
workday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I let
Yeah.
you know as soon as I found out.
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, I'm curious to
Awesome.
hear
Thanks
this
so
one.
much. Appreciate it.
Godspeed.
Bye.
Yeah.
Ladies, thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course. This is so much fun.
Honored to be sitting on this couch right now.
Oh, honored to have you.
I have seen so many clips from your show, so I
Yeah.
feel very excited to be a guest.
Tell us about my audience about your show, of which
Yes.
I will be on.
Yes.
When's my episode dropping?
A few weeks.
Yeah, a few
Oh, this
weeks.
will be out before. Great.
Yes. Our podcast is called Unwaxed.
Yep.
Do with that what you will. It's on every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
You can watch it on YouTube.
Watch it on YouTube. It's a lot of fun. Sophia and I shoot the shit. We have cool guests like Nick come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check that out, please.
I had a lot of fun recording.
Yeah, it
with
was
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then where can they follow you on the gram?
You can follow me at Sophia Stallone.
And Sistine Stallone. We're also on TikTok, but that's a little embarrassing.
I barely
Why?
use mine. I just show golf
just because I'm
videos.
bad at like all the challenges, the dances. I'm so
Such a bad dancer.
bad.
Yeah.
But I try. I keep up. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good.
I now I'm definitely gonna follow you on TikTok.
No. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I'll
fun.
take that. I'll take
Yeah.
that.
Well, thanks for coming. You guys are great. And make sure to
Thanks.
check out their podcast, follow them, all that fun stuff. Sending your questions at asknick@castme.com, cast with a K. Caitlin Bristow will be here next week. We're not sure what day, but she'll be here. And more of the same amazing, great content coming your way. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. But before you go, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any future videos like our Mondays Ask Nick for your favorite relationship stories and advice, and our Tuesday Bachelor recaps. See you next time.